You're listening to the Wicked Theory Podcast.
We're very happy to have you back, even for a short visit.
And here we go.
Broadcasting live from Tony Stark's wine cellar.
Hey, all these bottles are empty.
Of course, this is the Wicked Theory Podcast. Hey! Whoa!
That's enough.
Whoa, Ed's calling the shots. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's another week. It's another episode of the Wicked Theory Podcast. I am your host. My name is Bill Sweeney. This was my bad idea. I brought this little group together. Over there, I got Ed.
Hey.
And I got my brother Bob on guitar.
Hello.
Hello.
If you prick us, do we not bleed?
Yeah, you probably do. So, hey, how's it going? This is episode 88.
My headphones aren't working, but that's okay.
That's okay.
As long as you can hear me, that's what matters.
Yeah, that's all that matters, really. But we might be able to figure out why that is. I moved you around.
No, we started the show. It's too late.
Oh, it's too late? We have to just abandon headphones? All right, whatever it takes. So with that, Ed's going to leave now because he can't have headphones. He can't be on the show. No,
that's not true.
That's not quite true.
Not quite.
In the dream world, everybody. No, okay. So that's so production stuff. Anyway, hey, how's it going? Episode 88. I almost read 87 because I never changed it in the notes. Mm-hmm. We'll do some nerd news because that's what we do, and we'll do some email at some point. I didn't even check the email bin. I don't know if anything is in there.
Ooh.
But if people want to send emails, you don't. I'm not asking for you to send them right now. I feel like that was a setup just now.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, kind of unintentionally.
A little bit.
A little bit. Hey, it's live. You can affect the show in real time. It's an experiment since episode 1. Send them to podcast at Wicked Theory. Why is something checking for a software update? What is this? What is this? Stop. What is going on? I don't even...
Only on a live show, ladies and
It didn't
gentlemen.
even say what. It just said software update checking. Like, fuck
okay.
you.
Well,
Anyway.
we're still
That's
live
Apple
on
for
Mixler.
Everything's okay still?
Yeah.
Everything's still plugged in? Jesus. Okay, so, podcast at wickedtheory.com because this is a podcast, and it should be self-explanatory. Keep them kind of short. We do like them shorter than long.
Short but sweet.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, if it's longer than a paragraph, it's like, well, what are you writing? Is it like for me on the side?
Mm-hmm.
Should I just read it when I'm alone and by the fire, and in my smoking suit? Like,
It's a smoking jacket.
no, but it's like, why just wear the jacket?
They don't make...
How close was that save? Like, I just kind of saved that line. Like, woof, that was the last second. Like, all right, work line. Anyway, so, hey, you can hear us every Saturday if you're listening on iTunes. We do it at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Mixler, MIXLR.
.com. Wicked-Theory.
Wicked-Theory. I didn't know you were going to... I did point to you.
Yes, you did.
Wow.
I thought that was a prompt.
I'm going to do that from now on.
Just
I'm going to
follow
do it
the instructions, man.
I'm going to do it from now on. Support us on Patreon, too, if you like that stuff.
The Vulcan mind meld worked, guys, I think.
Yeah, this one time.
Mm-hmm.
And who's in the chat? I see we have a couple of people in the chat room.
Oh, we got some good ones. We got Agent Palmer.
He's staff now. It
Yeah.
doesn't count.
We got Wesley Ryan Gaskins and 2 newbies.
2 noobs.
One of which I know. One evidently is
both of which I know.
a friend of yours. We've got Clint Thiel.
Thiel. I believe it is pronounced Thiel.
Okay.
I'll say Thiele, but I don't know if that's Italian.
That's the Staten Island. Growing up with Italian.
I pronounce everything
Thiele.
like my name is Mario.
Yeah.
Hey, Mario.
Mm-hmm. Still trying to figure out how calamari somehow sounds like it starts with a G.
Galama.
It's Galama.
Galama.
Galama. And another native Staten Islander and a friend of ours from Comic Book Jones.
That's right.
Regular there, Zombie John Thompson.
Because, John Zombie John.
I remember back when the New 52 started, he and I used to share a couch in that place. We just plan ourselves there Wednesday and go through all the DC stuff.
Well, I'm glad it was about reading comics. I thought it might have went somewhere else.
We never talk to each other.
No, well
until like the tailgates on Fridays, on like Thursday nights.
Thursday night tailgates over there.
Yeah, but yeah, no. We'd sit there. We'd watch Batman. We'd read Batman and Robin and Green Lantern Corps, all at the same time. But we'd never discuss it. But it was like our little thing that we.
Would you guys literally read like the same book, like well, not the literal same book, but he's reading a copy of the same book you're reading a copy of?
Yeah.
And then at the end, like you could discuss it. Finally, there's a reason to have a conversation, quite literally.
But no, you got to move to the next
It's not like
book.
you read Superman and he read Green Lantern. You both read Green Lantern, like, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
he's both just kind of like, wow, just eye contact or anything. No. Awkward as fuck. Might as well be standing at a urinal. Like, I don't get it.
You know what? I think we both wanted to, but neither of us understood how to initiate.
You know what's great about this right now? He's probably vibrating in his seat because I saw him on Wednesday at this is in the notes for me, but at Comic Book Jones, our local comic book shop, and so they haven't podcasted in a while. So and I tend to I'm kind of like the host there now. If anybody doesn't know, and Ed used to be.
Yes.
So I run into him there, like, and he's like, "Hey, I want to, come by, whatever." And I'm like, "Oh, whatever," like, there's rules and shit, but I didn't make him cry or anything. But anyway, we're talking about him now, so he's probably like, "Oh my god, if I was there, I could talk about me too."
Yeah,
like But anyway, I told him, I was like, "Hey, get in the chat room, hang out." You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on week to week. It's a crapshoot. I do it all off the hip.
It snowed again today.
Snowed again today. I didn't even know if you were coming. I didn't even text you at all. Dom's not here. I didn't even reach out. I was just like, it's snowing again. Like last week, you guys all Skyped in.
Yeah.
Well,
it's because you called me at like 3 p.m. saying you can Skype in.
I was like before
I
he
didn't
asks,
get that offer this week.
True, that's true. I didn't really throw it out there. I was like, oh. Maybe this week I was like, oh, if you want it, you got to ask. If you want this time off. It's like there's a human resources department now.
Because if I ask, then I really don't want to be here. That's
true. That's true. That's true. It's just so much easier to stay home and Skype in. Can't I just telecommute? Like, what's with this job? Like, I don't understand. Technically, you could. So I'm glad you came. Thanks, Ed.
Yes.
I'm glad John came. He's hanging out in the chat room. I hope everybody's getting along and they're all being friendly. So you know what you guys can do to break each other's balls, and we'll come back and we'll check on you. But we do have a hashtag game or chat room game.
What's that, Bill?
So let's have them. I got a couple of examples. But we're gonna let you guys play with this.
Palmer, if you delete those examples, you could see he's got it highlighted.
Why?
Right
Because he's copy and pasting.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a hashtag game. It's like give fictional places sports teams.
Okay.
So like the Mordor Orcs, maybe.
Right.
See what I'm saying? Or the Cloud City Scoundrels. Something like that. So I'm not gonna give too many examples, but
the Shire Hairy Feet.
The Shire. There you go. See.
There you
go. Maybe anything popping around your head, Ed.
See, I just know like fictional sports teams from real
movies. Right, actual fictional
teams.
The
Valhalla of Valkyries.
There you go. All right, so now you guys in the chat room, you guys go play around with that. All right, I officially designated Palmer. I gave him a title.
Okay.
Remote assistant producer.
Wow.
Like that's like I think that's like
he's an AP.
I think he called up a place to get one of those plates you put on your door. So that's going to come in the next couple of days in the mail. Because I ain't buying it for him.
Because let's be honest, he's an AP now, which is very different from a PA, production assistant.
He was already AP, Agent Palmer. I mean, but we're going to have to change it to Producer Palmer soon, I guess. So you guys play with that game, have fun with that, and we're going to check back in with you guys in a little bit. We'll see how that goes. I'm sure you guys will be hysterical.
Did you mention Patreon?
I did. I kind of threw it in there. I was like, hey, we're on Patreon. Wicked Theory.
You might have missed it.
You might have missed it. I might have mumbled it.
I was waiting for you to point to me, and you never did.
Oh, you want to try and relive it?
That's okay.
Swing.
/ Wicked Theory.
Okay, all right.
There you go.
So, one of the things we do have in here is the Meanwhile. I kind of was already talking about it.
Meanwhile,
where is my sound effect board? Did I move that shit?
Come on, where's my Ted Knight?
Meanwhile.
Yeah, I couldn't hear it.
Seriously, what's going on with Ed's headphones?
I don't know. Maybe it's wait. There we go.
You need it jacked up like that. Is that why your laptop is always at 700 decibels?
I don't know. Well, I can hear it now. It's just I wasn't hearing it
All right,
before.
so you're in the second slot there. If you want to adjust for sensitivity.
I think it's just 'cause-
I thought I was the fourth slot, and that's why.
Oh, fair enough.
That's better.
I thought it was just because it has a big head, which means his eardrums are further inside.
That's maybe what it is.
That is true. I have a really big head. I'm like hot size. I'm like 7 7/8. Like I need to order everything online.
It's just because you're smart, man. That's what it is.
Wow.
The big
This is
brain
you have so
inside.
much brain.
That's what my mother.
Look at
told
the
me.
brain on Brad. All right, there's your Pulp Fiction quote for today.
There we go.
We filled the quota.
So meanwhile,
Meanwhile.
We'll just keep doing it. So go check out the newest episode of
WCBJ Radio.
the Comic Book Jones podcast.
Yeah, definitely. Bunch of fun guys.
Bunch of fun guys just
And
ripping on
it's-
each other and shit.
yeah.
It's the least comic book related comic book podcast going today.
Yeah.
I think that's just the safest way to kind of put it.
Yeah, well, it's a bunch
And
of guys who work in a comic shop. And
Yeah.
just chat and have fun all night. That's what it is.
It's a hang. It's really just a hang. It's a hang.
And
It's
you,
not
and
really
you
structured.
are a co-producer or something on that show.
Yeah,
right?
like I'm running the board and I'm there at the table.
You don't just run the board; you bring the board.
Well, this week.
Wait, there's a board?
This week I brought the whole kit and caboodle
Oh,
down.
wow.
Yeah, you didn't see me. You were.
Oh,
having-
that's right. No, that's right. I was there when you showed
You were
up.
online, so you didn't see me come
yeah.
in. But I threw I have this old wooden drawer that just loads up all the equipment nice and neat. And I threw it right under the table. That's when you
Okay.
come in. And so you didn't see that whole setup.
Yeah.
But yeah. I brought all of them. I didn't bring the stands. I didn't bring the armatures, but I brought the small table stands.
Yeah, I think the idea is to make them jealous of the quality of the equipment, and then want to go out and get upgrades themselves.
Well, and I was also curious about, in case that does happen, maybe one day, like to feel out the physicality of having this board on that table with all those cables.
Yeah. Well,
you know what I
also-
mean? And
yeah.
because it's always in that place, it's going to be about whatever you set up, you got to break down.
And I could say, the reason you had the old setup, that was my fault because I didn't know any better. I thought everything had to be just USB plug-ins.
You know what I'll say about a podcast? Every podcast upgrades at some point.
Yeah.
So that was their original setup, basically, right? From at least, maybe not day one, but early on.
That's what me and my buddy Saden figured out. Okay, this could work. And we hijacked some software that I don't think exists anymore to edit on.
Yeah. Then we had a little problem with the software.
Yeah.
Just one day it was like, man, we're done. The software was like, well, we're not even going to open. It's going to look like I open,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to open. So I just want to direct people over to that episode so that they can check that out because I think it's a good entry barometer because they tell some stories. So it's almost a little bit of best of as a kind of thing, running theme. They hadn't done an episode in 6 months. So
I always described it as Hollywood Babylon meets talking shit with Jim Jeffries.
So if you're a podcast lover and you know those shows,
Yeah.
go check it out. So it was. I had a really great time. I had a really good time. It was a lot of fun. It was long. The episode ended up kind of long. I won't kid you. Don't be daunted by the idea
You
that
get the after show in that with
yeah, it's one package. It's
Yeah.
one package over there. It's all in one and done. So don't be intimidated by the length of it. It is 2.5 hours in the runtime, but that's hey, you dip in, you dip out. Maybe you come back, maybe you don't. But it's a fun show. Listen to us all rip each other up.
I look forward to it.
Well, you should.
Yeah, you used to do it.
Yeah. Well, no, I haven't heard it. I will look forward to
No,
listening
yeah. I know you keep up on the episodes when after Tripp took over. So with that, Ed, we're going to go over to you in the meanwhile because
I got two things.
You got two things. You got one that is a classic, and the other one is in code, and I don't know what it means.
Okay.
Kind of. I literally just figured it out.
Okay.
When I first looked at it, I was like, "What?"
Well,
I
actually,
thought-
I pulled a Peyton Manning. I called an audible at the last minute and changed the second
yeah, that's a
one.
sports reference. Yeah, you're gonna have to pay a fee or a fine.
All
something.
right. So anyway, first up, looking for stuff to binge on. It's early January. Not all the shows have come back yet.
So many amazing shows these days. All this new hot, fresh entertainment. I'm not setting you up at all for this reveal. What could there's, so many options on like the Netflix and the Hulus and the Amazons.
So I took everything that's on all of those streaming
Sure,
services,
sure.
put it into an Excel spreadsheet, had
Right.
like a giant random number competition.
Yeah, I believe it.
And in the end, it popped out The Outer Limits.
The Outer Limits, the classic.
Classic 1963.
You started binging this.
Oh, yeah.
You said, fuck it, I'm going back to the old school, the perennials.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's not a bad show to be binging, though.
Not at all.
No.
Not at all.
And
But you hadn't really watched any of it before?
No, it's the kind of thing. I remember I grew up with Twilight Zone.
Right.
Those Twilight Zones, Rod Serlings, and those are the best. Those are the top.
That's the Dominator.
Yeah, how's the opening going, that one? We control the vertical.
We control the horizontal. Do not attempt to adjust your screen.
Right.
If
I was a competent, if I was a good showrunner, I'd have it like right queued up. I'd be able to go, here you go.
Yeah, that's not weird.
But instead, I got Grant. Instead you got a little bit Grant Markham just now. So
just when you thought you were getting something.
yeah. So what do you think? So where are you? What happened? Tell me about this Outer Limits experience.
Okay, so it's 60s black and white. It's a horror sci-fi anthology show. More leans towards sci-fi. It's an hour long. Most of the Twilight Zones were half hours. And it's just real slice of, just different anthology standalone stories.
Okay.
I've seen 4 so far, all with incredible guest stars.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of people get their start on shows like The Outer Limits back in the day.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you'll see William Shatner.
Cliff Robertson's in the first episode.
There you go.
There you go.
The one I just saw had Donald Pleasance in it.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. And Donald Pleasance and the guy who played the chief in Get Smart.
Okay. Sure. I want to say Donald something, but that's not right.
No.
Let's just call him Chief.
Mac Bolan.
Yeah.
I know it's not.
But the thing is, you could tell that they had a budget. They had a cap. And there's some great ideas here. And just the execution, it's the best for what they had at the time. But my favorite idea for an episode is this one called The Architects of Fear with Robert Culp.
Okay.
And this has hints of you could tell Watchmen kind of had some
borrowed
influence.
some here.
The whole idea is we're going to manufacture this alien threat to unite the world. Because that's what's going to bring everyone together as a common enemy.
Sure. It's every conspiracy theory I've heard in the last
So
5 years.
they draw straws, and Robert Culp gets picked to undergo this surgery to become this alien who is going to try to attack the United Nations.
Oh.
And it goes south.
That's heavy, man.
Yeah, that's really all you need to know.
That's all you need to know. It's
Yeah.
weird. It's quirky.
Yeah.
It's the 60s.
These episodes, even though they're all different, they're all kind of formulaic.
Right.
There's, There's a threat. There's someone at the beginning who thinks they know how to solve the world's problems.
Right.
And somehow it just goes south.
It goes to shit.
Yeah.
In some weird, wonky way.
Yeah. But the creature at the end, you could tell they worked really, really hard on that costume. It was like this combined, suit, giant mask, and then there's puppetry going on with the arms, and it's just damn. Just it doesn't quite hold together. It's I know that's clay and string.
I guessed it that much.
Yes, there we go. That's the Get Smart.
Speaking of
There
Get
you go.
Smart, Paul was pulling out one in his producer role now because we've upgraded him. Edward Platt was the chief in Get Smart. Thank you, sir, for that.
Eddie boy.
And then you also so good. It's
so
it's
Outer
fun.
Limits-
It's nostalgic. It's kind of a romp,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
It's half cool, half
Yeah. So
oh my God, what were
time
they thinking back in the
yeah,
day?
yeah, time capsule.
So if you want the second grade Twilight Zone, go check out The Outer Limits.
Right. There's the top. You've seen the top.
Yeah.
You've had the best. Now try the rest.
Yes.
Right. I got
Yeah.
you. It's the opposite.
We're
of the
going to
pizza
give you
box.
20% less budget than that half-hour show, and you're going to be an hour show.
Yeah.
So
Work with it.
You also
but
have.
you know what?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
black and white, so it's still there's still that layer of magic on it. There's something special about
There's
this.
something about watching black and white for
I-
a while where you kind of just so forget that it's black and white. I think
Yeah.
your brain starts to imagine it in color almost. I don't know if I'm the only one with that. but-
and that's why colorized black and white movies freak me out.
well, it looks like all of a sudden, it's some kind of weird. Now we can
It
attribute
looks
to
like
being,
someone watercolored them frame by frame.
yeah, like
Yeah.
pastels or something. I was going to say now you could say,
Yeah.
because we have it as a point of reference. It looks like an Instagram filter or something.
Yeah, unless it's like Reefer Madness, where I get the the commentary from the Rift.
Listen,
guys.
buddy, we don't allow people to watch that movie. All right, if there's any one,
Really?
if there's any like
The
one
40s
movie,
one.
if there's any one movie and 2 books, okay, it's Mein Kampf, all right, and it's The Seduction of the Innocent, and it's Reefer Madness. All right, these things we try to pretend they never happened. All right, the detriment they brought to society. Anyway. So that's cool. So you also have in here SSVJL.
Actually, that was what
Your license plate number?
No, that's what I deleted. Originally, I had Suicide Squad versus Justice League, which has
Okay.
been going on. Issue 4 dropped this week.
Has my thing not refreshed? Is that the issue?
It might be that.
Oh, that's what it is. I copied and pasted it out. So
There you
I
go.
could close the browser because I knew the browser was going to be active.
So you couldn't see all the stuff that Palmer was doing before the show that was driving me
Oh, that's
crazy.
right. I couldn't see
Okay,
any
so
of
that explains a little bit.
Yeah.
So get in behind the scenes, folks. This is
is it. This
This
is
is
it.
the inner things that
Woo.
make us,
Something special.
drive us crazy that
Oh.
you don't care about. So Suicide Squad versus Justice League, and
Yeah.
that's fun because evidently there's this other third team that's showing up.
What a new lineup of for
we
Suicide
got
Squad.
we got Lobo, we got Johnny Sorrow, we got
top notch.
yeah, Emerald
Lobo?
Emerald Empress,
Yeah,
Dr.
okay.
Dr. Polaris,
Right.
hmm
But you got-
Romstam,
Lobo.
Lobo's in there.
Lobo's in there. Okay,
Yeah.
who else?
I just Emerald Empress.
Yeah.
Maxwell Lord is the leader of the group.
Lobo. You got Lobo.
Lobo. Yeah,
Okay.
Lobo.
Whew.
Yeah.
Thank God. You got Lobo, the new Lobo, emo Lobo.
No.
Or
This is OG classic Lobo.
OG Lobo.
Lobo.
Yes.
Lobo. All right. Lobo Uno.
Yeah. If you want that new Lobo, he makes a brief scene in this week's Green Lantern. Hal Jordan in the Green Lantern.
Oh,
Corps.
there you go. Get your panel
Yeah.
and a half.
Yeah.
Did they just kind of like walk up to him, look him up and down, bitch slap him, and walk away?
No, he's stuck in a Brainiac canister, and they decide to leave him there.
Well, as you would, as you would, I guess.
Just like, you know what? Let's just leave him on the shelf.
Brainiac canister. Classic situation. I hate when that happens.
To me, that's almost like the writer saying, "Yeah, we know this was a bad idea, but he has to be somewhere."
You know what I could throw? I could throw in here in the meanwhile before we get to the news in a moment.
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Is I watched the trailer, the newest trailer for Powerless,
Okay.
NBC show that we were talking about,
Yeah.
where it's
Yeah.
The Office meets DC
Yeah.
Universe. Yeah. You want to know how that opens up?
How's that?
So now they work for Wayne. It's Wayne's
Wayne Security.
Wayne Securities. Alan Tudyk plays Bruce Wayne's cousin. And it starts up with him calling Bruce, and he's like, "Hey, B-Dubs, what's going on, buddy? Hey, I just want to check in." Like
Oh, that's gonna make our friend Jason very upset.
Jason.
Jay
Jay
from Seven Dag. Didn't he?
No, that's Gotham Lights. That's
okay.
that's Stephanie and Hanno's.
Oh, really? That was there?
I
Okay.
believe that's
I
how
thought
it-
that was a holdover from Gotham Knights.
It might, you know what? It might be, but I know it from them.
Okay.
So I thought it was like originated with their show, but once I heard that, I was like, "Oh my god, did they rip that?
Yep.
Did somebody happen to listen to their podcast and say, "Oh my god, B-Dubs is a great nickname for Bruce Wayne"?
One can only hope.
Or maybe it's just commonality of the universe and how we all tend to think of similar ideas out there, and it's all one big mental soup.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't smoke anything, I swear. Okay, so let's do that. Let's jump into some news. We got a thing we call.
Oh, I didn't mention the other.
Wait! Hey, hurry up! Bob's warming up. What do you got?
The real second thing I wanted to do.
Oh, what was it? Because
Well,
you're right. I'm not in the
yeah.
real notes. I should try and open up the real notes.
It's Suicide Squad related. CinemaSins dropped their Suicide Squad video this week.
Right.
Yeah, we actually were listening to it
Yeah.
before.
I didn't realize you had seen it already, and I was
Yeah.
waiting to do the Periscope. I do a pre-show Periscope.
Yeah.
So it was like, all right, this is funny, but this is long.
Yeah, it's 20 minutes.
It's a 20 minutes
It's-
cinema-
which
yeah.
isn't their longest, but it's one of their longer efforts.
All right, so
where
go,
they go scene by scene, bit by bit, and break down all of the sins that this movie commits.
it's all for
Yeah.
fun and comedy, but it are all legitimate arguments of like, why is this happening right now?
Yeah,
Who is this
yeah.
person? Why?
And-
Yeah.
And it was funny, like we had that argument where I was in a what was I like in the post Suicide Squad episode when we reviewed
You
that.
were like when a kid gets hit by a train and survives and has to go on somehow.
Yeah.
You were like that kid. Like, I'm sorry if that was too much for people, but that's kind of like, the shock.
Yeah.
The fact that I got a random text from you 2 weeks ago, out of nowhere, like 3:00 in the afternoon. Like, I don't know if literally this is what he sent me, Bob. I don't know if people really realize just how much that movie affected me, like in a negative way. Just like left field, out of the blue, 3:00 in the afternoon.
I don't remember setting that.
Yeah, well, I saved it. I'm pretty sure it's still in my.
No, I believe you.
No, I believe you. Maybe you're blacking out. You're so traumatized.
Yeah,
You're black.
So anyway, in Cinema Sins, and anyone listen to their Sincast, if Grant Markham thinks I'm harsh, oof, these guys.
Oh, those guys.
They take the task. They got
like,
standards.
It seems like they don't. Like, why are you even watching movies?
Oh no, they love movies and they talk about it all the time.
They love them too much. They maybe
it's those
that's
little things.
Too much love.
Yeah, but
we love too much.
There was one line that.
Holy shit, Ed! What?
All right, fine. No, we're good.
Bob
we're good.
News.
Maybe I don't feel like doing it now.
Fine, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to yell at you, Bob. I was taking out my rage.
I was ready before.
I understand. No, I understand. I know.
Yeah. It's my fault.
You were all queued up. You were all. News o'clock. Ooh. A little variation on a theme.
That's because I was mad. No.
No, I don't.
Okay, so first up.
What?
TV news.
TV.
We've got some Marvel TV news.
Yeah, a little buzz.
Yeah, so evidently there's an X-Men TV show that's nearing a pilot order at Fox.
Yeah.
But it's untitled and we have no idea what it's about.
Well, no, we do. We know that this loose outline, it's like,
It's going to star someone and it's going to be about something.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Bob, using all of the tropes in TV, let's see if you could nail this, right? Mm-hmm. It's not going to be it's not going to be main characters. Let's go with that.
Okay.
What's like a general mutant, using like the idea of mutants, like a basic bullshit TV fucking setup, like drama.
Okay, like 90210.
Well, not that bad. I'll tell you. That's Riverdale. But just the classic kind of,
what, Three's Company?
No, forget it. You know what? I'll be chasing it. It's the family on the run. It's the family on the run.
It's the Millers.
It's the Millers, right? Yeah. It's one of these things. So that's like the hook on that. Like, so maybe like there might be something tangentially involved, but it'll be like probably some new or smaller level character. Right. Mm-hmm. And parents find out he's a mutant, so it's all like, oh my god, what do we do? And they're hunting.
It'll be Sabretooth's third cousin twice removed.
We could be so lucky. We could. If only we could be so lucky. Some cousin of the Weapon X program, but it may not be that cool. Who knows what we'll get? Hopefully it'll be good. Like, I didn't think Legion would look as good.
Yeah.
But I think what's happening is like the what they're seeing over at Legion is making them kind of like, oh, all right, maybe if we think outside the box.
Yeah, and also to clarify, they're nearing a pilot order, which means they may shoot something that, based on law of averages, probably won't get picked up and no one will ever see.
Fair enough.
But Hey. So there's there's probably about a 5% chance
where we stand
that
right now
turn into something.
Right.
But there's a 5%. There's a chance.
Well, you know what I say about chances? It's really 50-50. Will it or won't it? That's what I say about life. Gamble all you want.
Yeah.
But don't think your chances are better. It's 50-50. Either you're going to win or you're going to lose. But anyway. But no, I think I'm kind of excited. I'm kind of interested. Like, I think it's very tropey setup where it's like, blah, 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 family on the run. They all love him or hate him or whatever. I'm sure there's some discord in the house because he's a mutant.
Yeah.
Someone thinks the sister thinks he's a freak. Probably both parents will love him. It won't be the 80s style where the dad hates him.
Yeah.
Which is the, my queer son analogy, that thing. But because the same people involved with Legion are involved with this.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things the article kind of points out. So maybe there's some saving grace where it won't be too corny and cliched. All right, what's next?
Maybe someone else is trying to do what's happening over on CW.
Well, they're trying to like reimagine, do it different, but
right, but like build a series of stories and a series of shows. I
think that's what might happen if we're lucky. Like, this will come, and then it'll be like, oh, okay, this could work, and then maybe the next show we get is an actual.
But I don't know. Does X-Men really have the depth to pull that off.
If you did like a soap opera,
He said before running out of the room.
sorry. Like, yeah, it's just
I could feel.
I
legions
could
of fans
I
going
could
after
totally
it.
see taking the X-Men
Mm-hmm.
and just rewriting old Dynasty scripts.
yeah, that's what I feel like. I feel like it's Days of Our Lives. It's you know, especially some of the stuff in the '80s. But you know,
Kevin Smith always described it as a Spanish soap opera.
I always describe I used to describe comics as soap operas with spandex, but especially for X-Men, that's how it felt.
Yeah.
But like, who's got a budget for that? I mean, it's like, yeah, a fucking $40 million soap opera, like daily. That's what I mean. Like, but anyway, move on.
So anyway, okay. So Patton Oswalt
Yeah.
is set to return to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this season.
One of the highlights, actually.
Yes, he's
when
going
I
to be
was
coming
watching
back
it.
as the Koenig brothers.
Yeah, and I think if I remember the article correctly, there was speculation because they turned out to be triplets.
Yes.
That was like, oh, they thought they were going to be LMDs, but
We never quite got that reveal.
No, but there was definitely something up with them. They weren't just triplets; like they were clones or something.
However, the showrunners have said we will learn their family secret.
And
So
I bet you it won't be anything. It'll just play them up as like super quirky triplets.
Mm-hmm.
But I like Patton Oswalt. I liked him when he was on it.
Patton Oswalt, super fan, and when he started on that show, I felt like really happy because it was like one of us made it. You know,
It is.
You know,
It is a little bit like that.
because he's a guy who's been very vocal about
his nerdiness.
yes.
Oh my God, that's
Yes.
like what he made. That's like his bread and butter in a sense. Like
like that one thing. It was in a Parks and Rec where he did the whole thing about how to connect Star Wars and Marvel.
how we can expand this whole thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it became internet gold. Okay, so but yeah, he's coming back to S.H.I.E.L.D., so that'll be cool. So over in movies, I see Deadpool is getting some award respect,
Yes, so
Yeah.
and people are surprised by it.
When you are a $50 million budget movie and you make $783 million worldwide,
And you're legitimately good.
yeah, you're going to get some respect.
Yeah, you know,
Well,
I would
also-
hope. You hope, you know.
well, also, it's weird for a superhero movie to
That's
get
the
like
thing.
like when you hear superhero movies for Oscars, it's
You're
usually
like,
in like visual effects or like the sound mixing, sound editing, those kinds of things.
Yeah.
Right. And now we are talking about what is essentially an X-Men movie.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's
and those movies
yeah.
have been pretty, like as far as acting goes,
Right.
pretty. Ooh.
Well, here's the thing, also too, a context to remember: it's X-Men comedy.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, you
Right.
could say superhero movies probably didn't get any respect till Dark Knight, and that got some noms. But like you said, for a lot of technical stuff, finally got some direction noms. And Heath Ledger obviously won Post-Human, Alivedly, Post-Alivedly. So
Yeah, well, Dark Knight is, I think, it is an exception because Dark Knight's like The Godfather 2.
right, but that's what I'm trying to get at is that
Yeah.
like usually it's ultra serious movies.
Yes.
So does this movie even get more respect than most comedies?
I think so, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because Ryan Reynolds has been evidently making the rounds in Hollywood, and he got a Best Actor in a Comedy nomination at the Golden Globes.
Sure.
And a movie got a best comedy, musical or comedy at the Golden Globes, and everything thinking was like, oh, okay, it's going to stop there, but no, they've got both a Producers Guild nomination and a Directors Guild nomination.
There you go.
Man.
There you
Now,
go.
I checked out awardcircuit.com. And
Ooh.
they do like their rankings.
Is this a message board you belong to?
No, it's a website, but no, they rank like who they think is going to get nominations. 'Cause
Gotcha.
They come out in about a week and a half.
Sure.
And in the top 40, Deadpool isn't even ranked. So,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
so,
well, I mean, it's
you
like,
know,
hey, reality.
it's still probably not going to happen.
Yeah,
but like just the idea that
It's just got a slot.
a superhero movie, you could get a Best Picture nomination.
Did they add slots to these awards recently too? Like how the Oscars there's more slots now.
That was like the year, like Dark Knight did not get nominated, and everyone thought, and all the movies that were nominated, like no one saw. They
Right,
were all, like,
right,
these
right.
little indie movies that were really good, but no one cared. No one
Right.
saw them. And then the next year, all right, we'll do 10 nominees, or it could be up to 10.
Right.
Usually it's like 8 or 9.
Right.
And still,
Still. Yeah. Well,
you get some animated movies, maybe like one blockbuster, but.
Sounds kind of like what happened with Metallica back in the day when they got dissed at the Grammys
Yeah.
for Jethro Tull,
Right.
and then the Academy was so like, wow, yeah, we really did screw that up.
Right.
So
They changed
with
something.
the next year they had Metallica back and gave him a Grammy. Then
Yeah. They figured out
they
something.
didn't release an album that year, but
Yeah,
they
right.
gave him the Grammy that
They
year.
figured out something. We found this on the floor. All right. So over at StarWars.com, to quell a rumor, they actually put out an official comment about because this week a rumor started circulating about how they were talking to the family of Carrie Fisher about working out some kind of deal or something. Was this rumor? So I thought it was very cool that they put this out officially. It's kind of brief. You have it up, Ed?
Yeah. It's just basically saying that they don't have plans to use her CG likeness,
right,
in episode 9.
Right.
They've already shot all of her stuff.
Well, it doesn't say that. It says that they don't plan. They plan to not use her likeness at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just that. That's not going to. What we've seen digitized is it, and what they've captured on film for 9, like is it. So they'll work around whatever. I think is the implication. Is they're just not going to.
Yeah, and and they don't usually put out stuff like this, but I think just this is a very special case.
Yeah,
and they didn't want people to languish, especially because there's been some backlash over Peter Cushing and the stuff they did in Rogue One. Right. And I think they just wanted to kind of quell that. And say, that's not going in that direction.
Yeah, we did it for this, and obviously it's debatable, and we won't be doing it again probably. But
we're gonna wait. Like 15, 20 years.
Yeah, right, exactly. And then she'll still be on Rebels. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It'll be like that. We'll find a voice actress to get her down pretty good.
Also in Star Wars news.
Yeah.
There was a big casting drop this week.
Yeah, we were talking about this last week.
He was in
we were having some fun, or, well, I don't know if we were goofing on it hard, but we were definitely discussing whether or not Woody Harrelson, like, my issue with it was that he feels maybe a little too familiar. And that I know him too well to have him in there. But they signed him. They signed him for Star Wars. He's going to play this character, unnamed as of yet, Han Solo's mentor. I know I have an article linked in there, Ed. You don't have to actually go to it.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a dud, but there is an article that goes through the 4...
different characters he could play.
Not that the article's a dud, but it's just that no one really, unless you read all these books, because he's a lot of these are from the 90s and stuff.
Those novels.
These novels, and they're all different ones. One's actually the first one's from like before Dawn or some shit. The Dawn of Man.
Do you remember those days? And I'm going to go off track here for a bit.
Do I have to play some kind of music for you? What have I got? We got anything?
Do you remember those points in the 90s? I was a little kid at this time. When you go to the mall,
he plays fucking Metallica,
and you go to Walden Books or Big Dalton's, and you go to the bookshelf, and they'd have a whole section of sci-fi, and then one whole bookshelf from top to bottom was all Star Trek books, and then right next to it was a bookshelf top to bottom all Star Wars books. Do you remember those days?
Kinda. Like, I think I do.
Do you remember just like standing there and looking at those books and being like 7 or 8 and going like, wow, I'm not going to read any of this. But I really like knowing it's here and looking at the covers and trying to figure out the story that could be there. If you could handle the reading level, if your parents would be willing to buy it for you.
Right.
And my dad bought a lot of those books and read them. And I remember
music jacked up. Sorry, there.
When Peter David had those Starfleet Academy books.
Oh yeah, well,
with Worf and
that guy wrote
that
tons
was
and tons of books.
Finally, something I could read.
All right, let's move it along, Ed. With your fucking
Anyway,
sorry, Bob.
That's not the case.
You almost dropped the guitar. Anyway, man. Don't do that.
Oh, I almost fell out of my chair.
Yeah,
it's not really the case anymore.
Oh, okay.
Sad to say.
Books died. But they don't have books anymore.
Yeah. So Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, I heard of that guy.
Yeah. So he's on via Twitter.
The old Twits does.
Yes, the old tweets.
Yeah.
He released an official synopsis.
Yeah, I want you to read this, Ed, if you could, in your whichever of your.
In the near future, a weary Logan cares for an ailing Professor X in a hideout on the Mexican border. But Logan's attempts to hide from the world and his legacy are upended when a young mutant arrives, being pursued by dark forces. I don't know what that's from.
What?
I just pulled that straight out of my
ass. There you go. Did you just make that up? No.
Yeah.
yeah, I totally made that. I wasn't reading that at all.
In an age when men can no longer smoke cigarettes, Ed reached deep to find his movie voice.
Didn't even use it that time. I thought I was going to get it. I thought you were going to get the movie.
You
voice.
thought you were going to get that.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get that in a world where one man has mutant powers.
No, I know what that is.
Yeah.
That's Ben Kingsley doing the Mandarin. Like in the trailers for
what
Iron
you were
Man
just
3.
doing before?
Yeah.
All right, let's not recapture.
All right.
You can go back and listen to it on iTunes.
Yeah, Ben Kingsley is the Mandarin is a mixed bag for me.
Yeah, for some people that's their Suicide Squad, Ed. Okay.
Oh man, we got to start using these hashtags in a minute.
Yeah. All right, so let's let's get through the movie section here. So so Woody's officially in Star Wars. He's Hugh. We passed that. Hugh Jackman. That thing.
So that's pretty much what we learned from the trailers. And,
Okay.
I'm excited to see that.
Fair enough. Let's go into the chat room, because we have another thing we can give them there to do, and see how they did with the games that we gave them. We gave them, what was the hashtag we gave them? We gave them give fictional places sports teams. Yes. Now I remember the show that I
Which is
started
ironic,
earlier.
given how much you hate sports personally.
Yeah, but I thought it would be funny.
Yeah.
If it's making fun of sports, I'm down for it.
Okay.
All right, just to fill you in. How many episodes you been on?
Okay.
Seriously, how many episodes? No. I didn't know it was going to be a test. What do we got in there, Ed? Ed, read some off, because I can't get the thing open.
So Palmer's throwing down a lot of these.
Well, he might have been warming it up.
Yeah. The Springwood Slashers.
Okay.
The Metropolis Steelmen, which is better than their actual baseball team, the Comets.
Yeah, you're right.
And,
I'll agree with that for sure.
The Gotham Gutbusters.
God. All right.
Central City Speedsters. The Jakku Junkers.
The Jakku. Okay, there you go. I like that one.
The Hell's Kitchen Ninjas.
Hell's Kitchen's.
Yeah.
It's a farm team, I think.
Yeah.
It's just a neighborhood. Yeah, this phone died.
Yeah. The Tatooine Tuscans. Yeah, pretty.
A little bit. I like that.
Interesting.
We got one?
Damn it. I don't want to give him credit for it.
What was it? Palmer had it?
Palmer.
What do we got?
The Outer Rim Assholes.
Oh, there you go. Give him the bell. Give him the bell. That's a good one. I'll give you two. 2 dings and a hat. Oh, man, the Outer Rim assholes.
7 7/8 hat.
Any others in there? Or,
I don't want to. Arkham Men, Kargar Crushers, Coruscant Councils. Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
All right.
Haddonfield Hackers.
There you go.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's
That's my favorite. That's a personal favorite.
Lilliputian Giants.
Lilliputian Giants. There you go. All right. So.
All right. We got 2 more news
We
stories.
got 2 more news stories, and I thought maybe the chat room would have some fun with this in a minute. But yeah, but George Lucas is laying out $1 billion
$1 billion
for a museum.
Oh, wait.
And I'm
The
like,
Lucas Museum of Narrative Art.
I'm just wondering, like
So he's building $1 billion cartoon museum.
it's just his. I think it's just
it's
it's
his-
literally it's just his stuff.
It's his personal collection of memorabilia.
Is that literally what it is?
Yes. Yeah, this is what the Nerdist article says, which is
Fair
from
enough.
Hollywood
Fair
Reporter.
enough.
After extensive due diligence and deliberation, the board of directors of the Lucas Museum of Narrative Art is pleased to announce plans to build the museum in Exposition Park in Los Angeles.
All right, so I want you
I
guys.
guess he had to do something with all those Disney cells that
Now-
he was paid with.
Now, evidently, there was he was going to build this in Chicago at one point.
Yeah.
And the city council, the mayor's office, gave him like a huge runaround and wanted to give him all these extra zoning laws, and he just said, "Screw you."
Chicago was like, no, we really need money.
Yeah.
Like, how can we really drain this project dry?
Yeah.
I'm going to presume. I don't know. I don't live in Chi-Town.
We don't want to be Detroit.
We're just trying to fix it all. Help us. So one of my points, too, is like, all right, guy, it's you couldn't have split that cost and made 2 museums, maybe? Help somebody else out somewhere? You know what I mean? But so I want to know from people in the chat room, like, what is in this fucking museum? Because if it's all George Lucas's personal memorabilia...
I think this is going to be the only place where you can see the original theatrical versions of
his
the first trilogy.
Right. That's it. It's
Yeah.
just,
Well, is that going
You
to be
have
in
to
there,
make the
or
pilgrimage?
right.
right? But is that going to be in there, or is it just going to be his garage sale stuff?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it might be like his garage sale stuff. He might just have like
Yeah.
just boxes and boxes of Wookiee for samples.
Yeah, and
or
when he first
just
broke
the action figures of him.
right. You didn't even know they made it. I have all 30,000 of them from the original run. I didn't let any of them out.
After he made his first $1 billion, he bought up a whole bunch of Edsels, and now he's got to get rid of them.
It's just,
Well,
that's what I feel like. I feel like the thing is just going to be his garage. It looks like actually the artist rendering on it looks like someone just spilled mercury.
Yeah.
And it's like frozen in frame or something. I don't know what's going on. It just is this amorphous silver-looking globule-like thing.
Yeah.
Okay. But I guess
that's what you get for $1 billion.
Well, I guess when you sell off Star Wars, you really can't then just go ahead and
Bob,
make
you
it.
could see this is...
Yeah, I saw it. I think it also was going to, partly it's buried underground. And in an emergency, it's also going to go up into space.
That's what I'm thinking,
and
too.
It's probably look more like a Millennium Falcon at that point.
I think this is how he starts his church, finally.
Yeah.
He's like, wow, look at those Scientologists.
He's good. Lucasology.
He's like, I shouldn't have sold it.
I actually think it kind of looks like a loose outline of the Starship Voyager.
There you go. How about that?
It kind of does.
How about that? It does look like some kind of spaceshipy thing, a little bit.
But it also kind of looks like the thing that you have car painters use as a sampler.
No,
they spray paint.
Right, just a glob, kind of like a
right.
random
It's just like a shaped piece of wood that's got kind of like the basic silhouette of something that could be automotive or vehicular.
right.
And that's kind of what that looks like.
There you go. It just looks like a living test run. So, there's that.
Yeah, and a little bit. I'm actually kind of surprised Bill kept this in, but we're going to go with it.
I didn't even get to click on the article.
Before we go there, I just want to say one more thing about this. He's just better off wherever he is than putting it here, because all he would get for $1 billion here is a small apartment on the upper west side.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
He'd have to go vertical. He'd have to go vertical. He really couldn't.
It'd be the third floor of a building, 2,000 square feet.
Yeah.
That's about it.
And I feel kind of disappointed because I was going to see if I could check this place out for lunch.
Yeah, I didn't
in
click
New
the
York.
link. That's why it's still in there.
But
okay?
there is a Harry Potter themed pasta restaurant in Manhattan right now.
Harry Potter pasta.
Yeah,
Harry pasta.
Oh! It's got a horrible name.
Oh, okay.
Please say it.
You want to get any guesses first?
Should we?
What would be a good name? For
Yeah,
Harry
before
Potter
Ed drops it, if anybody's got a good guess for a Harry Potter
themed restaurant,
pasta restaurant,
yeah,
quick, hurry up.
It's Hogwarts.
Hey, it's Mama Hogwarts. Show spell. All right, try and hurry up. Throw some in there if you got anything in the chat room. Ed, what is the actual?
It is
the actual name of this place.
It is called Pasta Whiz.
Fucking shoot me! Like that's it? Pasta Whiz? As like
Pasta
Pasta Wizard?
And somebody decided to pay J.K. Rowling for the right to tie Harry Potter to this fiasco.
I don't know if this is licensed.
Well, I challenge.
It's a pop-up restaurant.
I challenge anybody in the chat room to have come up with 1,000,000 times. Even the worst name in our chat room right now for a Harry Potter pasta restaurant is 1,000,000 times
I think
better.
Binary Bombshell's already got my favorite.
Well, she was nailing jokes galore last time she was with us.
She came with My Harry Linguini.
There you go. Harry Linguini. Hey, it's a magical meal. All right, he's old. He's got the same look, but he's just got
trying to figure out where this
Italian
is.
little.
I think they said it's on First Avenue.
But was there any
doesn't sound like a good idea to me, this
mentions
place.
of the food?
It's on First Street between Wythe and Kent Avenues.
Well, why do we care? Why are we telling people for?
Yeah.
Who's gonna?
But anyway,
no
who's
one's
gonna go
no
there?
one really going to go there.
Who's gonna go?
I
John.
will say the menu.
Zombie John.
The menu items are a little bit more creative.
Okay.
In terms of the names.
Okay. Well, that's what I want to hear.
All right.
What do we got there? Anything
Ready?
good? Sure.
Animanja.
Oh, nice.
Wingardium Linguinosa.
Okay.
All right. Now we're getting there.
Fettuccine Alfred Weasley.
Oh,
there you go.
Nice.
That's a nice dish on the menu right there.
Al dente Yumbledore.
Okay. All right.
Penne alla vodka mort.
All right. I points for trying.
Bobby de Beppo or Buca de Mentor.
That might be the best. I don't know because my Harry
You
Potter.
could just say either one of those or put them both together, and someone's just going to say, "What is it?" You can tell them whatever the hell you want.
But the fact that a waiter has to get that out 20 times a day.
The Cavatelli of Secrets.
Oh, okay. There you go. I like that.
Ollivander Garden.
Okay.
Voldemort the Bell.
Voldemort the There you go, Bob. There's a nice one.
Avada Kedavra.
All right.
Ronatinis.
You must know more Harry Potter than me because you're smiling through all of these.
Dark Macaroni.
You let me know when one of these is good because I'm not up on my Harry Potter to know.
Half-Blood Pasta Principera.
Okay, that I got. Prince of wow. Woo!
That's a reach, though.
I'm doing some work, but it was
That's
good.
a paragraph.
It's pretty good.
Bellatrix Lasagna.
All right.
Expecto Parpadelle. And finally, Fantastic Pastas and how to serve them.
Wow. that should have been the name of the place.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic Pastas, and yes, we serve them.
Yes.
Jump back in the chat room. Did anybody throw anything in for that? I'm sure somebody did. Let's see. How much time?
Parvatis pasta, Lingardium ravioli.
Hey.
Mm-hmm.
Chicken pot
Pasta Patronum.
Pasta.
Chicken pot pie.
That was John Thompson there.
Nice.
Cool.
All right, so that's going to wrap up the news.
So yeah, like, should I go to that restaurant tomorrow or Monday? I'm off Monday. Ask the chat. Is it worth a trip? Should I cash in?
I think unless you're going to do like you have a new YouTube channel and this is episode 1 or something.
Yeah.
And you're like, let me just go in here and I'll just make a scene.
Yes.
And you're going to be that guy.
Mm-hmm. Am I going to go into Manhattan and be a tourist?
You know, go in with a wand and try to be obnoxious Johnny Knoxville type.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Knock stuff over. Like, it's magic.
Oh, Palmer, I would Periscope it, but I have a Windows phone. Windows doesn't have Periscope.
Oh, maybe next time. Maybe the next time he gets a device.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that wraps up the musicals. Ed.
Oh, yes.
I think it's time.
It's time. Ready? Here we go.
All right.
Revenge. No.
Well, no, it's not time. I had the volume knocked down.
It's close.
I had the volume down.
I can smell it. Wait for it. And
why is it not playing?
God damn it!
Why was it not playing?
Is it hooked up?
See if they're saying. I don't know.
Yes, Chad, you're right.
was somebody calling it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. There we go. All right, let me start over. All right, there you go. If you know what it is, you know what it is.
This will all be edited out.
No, probably not.
To understand what I'm about to tell you, you need to do something first. You need to believe in the impossible. Can you do that?
Welcome to the DC TV report for the week ending in January 14th, 2017. I am Edward O'Hare, nickname to be determined. With me are Bill Sweeney and Brother Bob.
Hey.
So,
we're just here to interrupt.
This week, we still have nothing to report.
All right, there you go.
Still no live action shows.
Nothing to interrupt then.
There you go.
Next week, there will be episodes.
Yeah.
But not this week.
Oh, okay.
That is the DC report for this week.
To understand what I'm about to tell you, you need to do something first. You need to believe in the impossible. Can you do that?
Just cut it off.
I shouldn't just leave this on for 5 minutes? This is some rockin' music, though.
It is.
Check this out. Fucking drums. Watch where it goes. You're never gonna believe it. It's amazing. Like, all of a sudden, it's like, whoa, I'm in a rave. Like, it got really ravey at the end.
All
right, fair enough. It's over. That bit's over.
And the next segment's all about me, too.
Yeah, Ed is Mr. Spotlight today. Mm-hmm. Ed, so...
Yeah, we got to do something about that, Bill.
Yeah, we got to wrap that up, right? Mm-hmm. Slap him in the face, bring some reality to him.
We got to bring his ego down a couple of notches.
Yeah, I like the sound of that, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
Ed,
put on Suicide
does
Squad.
anybody...
That's a good idea.
I should just get screens and not put the volume up, and just so the audience doesn't get bothered by the sound. But Ed just has to constantly be seeing it, like wherever he looks.
Yeah, little bits of reviews in between.
I should just get a poster. I should just get a nice Suicide Squad poster, like that shitty, ugly one where it's like the aerial shot. And it's like you're looking down on them, kind of. And
it's good you said that because I was going to ask you which shitty, ugly one.
The options are endless. All right, so
is there a theme for this too?
For what? For this? Oh, well, yeah. Well, we do have a sound clip. I do have a sound clip that I normally play.
decisions around here. I thought this was a group effort. No!
Well, it's not. Welcome to Pitch First Pitch.
Pitch First Pitch. Yeah, so it'll be really quick, this setup.
Yeah,
but,
so we haven't done it in a while.
That's
but
correct.
We have decided we're going to, and it's my turn to pick the title.
That's right. So Ed's going to give us a title, and then what we do is we come back next week, and we give Ed a pitch for a movie based on that title, whatever we want to do with it, but only based on that title. And then Ed picks like the best one, whatever he likes. And then, the next week, and also then on that week, somebody else gives out a movie title. And so Bob will next week give out a movie title. If I remember the rotation of it correctly, that's kind of how that went, right?
Going left?
Basically.
Ed, Bob, Bill.
Fair enough. I don't know left from right. I'm still working on that one, too.
But
clockwise.
That's probably true. Ed, what is the title of the movie you're going to give us an assignment for? A thing that also people at home can play along via email.
Yes. Now,
Don't do this into the chat room, but if you want to send in an email to podcast at Wicked Theory, then next week we'll read those too. This is an email game, right? Yeah. Well, no, we'll get two. Here's the thing: we'll get two, we'll read them both.
Or should we just take the bad ones and read them?
Well, I think what we're going to get is
and laugh at them.
Well, whatever we get is what we get. I think is the way to do that.
So
because we're not going to get much.
So
that's a challenge to anybody who's insulted.
Yeah. I've had over a month to think about this.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Did you do another fucking Ed spreadsheet?
No, not quite.
Okay. That's good.
Not quite. I thought about it, but I didn't.
I did some social engineering.
So this is what 4 years of college does to you.
Say that, folks.
What's something that means something to me? Not necessarily something good, but just means something. An original title that you guys can riff on.
Yeah, okay.
And I think I came up with an idea.
Okay.
You ready?
Right. I'm ready.
Drum roll. What can I help you find?
Okay.
What can I help you find is the name of the movie with a question mark at the end?
Yes.
Okay. All right. There you go. We come back next week. Me and Bob will have a loose pitch of some kind with some stars and maybe a director or something like that, a description. And either we go straight or we go goofy. But
you can go any direction you want.
Yeah. You really can. What can I help you find? Very good. I love it already. There's a lot. I'm trying not to think about it. I started. Bob's like working on it right now.
Yeah, I already got it.
Bob doesn't have to keep the show rolling. I have to keep the show rolling. I can't work on it right now.
I've already got it.
The fun part is always after the pitches when I tell you the genesis for that title.
Well, yeah, you
where that came from.
You have some backstory of some kind. You're still not sourcing it this time, are you? Because last time you sourced it.
Last time it was a Lord of the Rings reference. This is not that.
Okay, fair enough. Let's tell us no more, sir.
Yes.
So people at home, you can play along. Send us an email. And in the description, subject line.
Yes.
And in the subject line, put pitch versus pitch. And this way I can spot them easily and corral them all together and put them off to the side, as the kids say. And that's that. And then you guys can play along with that, and we'll have a whole gosh darn segment of it next week. Won't that be amazing, Ed?
Yes.
It almost sounds like a thing, like we're like a prepared show, and like we do like real stuff.
Yes.
Are we that kind of show yet?
We're getting there.
Are we getting there?
We're getting there.
All right. Do I dare ask the chat room? This kind of a question? These kinds of questions?
I don't know.
Not put it to him? In that case, you know what, Ed? You're right. Let's just go right to the email. How about that? We do emails, folks. We were just talking about it. Weren't we just talking about emails?
Yes, we were.
We were asking for people for pitch versus pitch stuff? Email. We get lots and lots of email. Don't we, Edward?
Yes, we do.
Edward O'Hare. Sitting over there. Email. So we got a couple.
Who wrote us this week?
This week, you know who has got the first one in there?
Who's that?
Wesley Gaskins.
Hey.
Wesley.
He says, hey, you gentlemen. He doesn't after all this time, he doesn't really know.
Not quite.
God
doesn't have the rhythm.
I know someone else used to call you guys that.
Yeah. And for that guy, it was definitely a bit. All right, so...
that guy knew us.
So his question is, what Pokemon would best fit your personalities? He's got a few here, so we'll take that one first. I'm not I don't know a lot of Pokemons. But I feel like a Bulbasaur.
Okay.
There's something about a Bulbasaur. I don't know what its skill set is or its point value or any of that. I'm just saying visually.
Yeah.
I kind of dig that. You know, it's like, you know, my visually only based kind of a thing. But
it's like a turtle with a flower on its back.
Yeah,
or
something like that. Something like that. You know, maybe it's just because I want to say Billbasaur. Might be that. Maybe it's that.
Yeah.
I really don't know too deep on the. How about you? Are you familiar with the Pokemon stuff?
Yes,
because you came up during that,
and
like it was on the tail end.
Yeah,
for me.
I feel kind of bad that my gut instinct is Snorlax. But I wouldn't say that. It's funny trying to go through my little brother Jimmy, who's about to go into the army. In a couple weeks. Was a huge fan and collected all the cards.
Okay,
so
you have some exposure.
Yeah, I would steal his in the middle, and I'd read all of them just so I can keep up with what he was into.
Right. Make sure he wasn't getting into anything evil.
You sure those weren't Garbage Pail Kids cards?
That was when I was growing up.
No, they redid them twice.
No, they're still going. I bought a pack the other day. I was not impressed. I shouldn't say the other day, but a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
I wanted my $2.50 back or whatever the fuck it was.
I mean, my favorite one was always like Charmander.
Okay.
Charmander, Charmeleon.
All right.
Charizard, like those.
Fair enough.
You know, more powerful. But ones I'm most like.
Oh my! Come on, personality.
Really? It's a simple question.
I pulled out fucking Bulbasaur in a hot second.
There you go. Squirtle. I'm a Squirtle.
You went through 3 to end up at Squirtle.
Yeah.
Just want to put that out there.
Yeah, I went through the fires to end up.
I would have picked the Snorlax for you. Just saying. But
okay.
I don't know.
Like I don't know many either. Man.
I really don't know.
Just throw something out there. What do you know?
I was thinking Charizard.
Whatever that is, I think that's a Taco Bell thing.
It's a little lizard that blows fire.
Wow, I'm glad you said fire. Woof, I got nervous. All right,
now
no, not chunks.
I think we need.
Or penises.
I think we need to take a second here.
A momentary.
We just did a whole bit about Pokemon.
Yeah,
and did not mention that there was an app that swept the world.
Yeah, we'll try
for about 2 minutes about 6 months ago.
Yeah, we'll try to try to move past that.
That's progress, people.
That's human. That's development.
That's
development. It's development.
That's 3 people who didn't play the game.
Hey, but not to get too lost in it. But did you see the trailer for Mario Unlimited or whatever the fuck it is coming for the Switch?
No.
It's finally got Mario running around in open world, kind of like GTA style.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, obviously. Okay. Can't do GTA, but it's like, you know, big open maps kind of thing, and some of those maps are complete open world, and as opposed to like you are kind of sinking into holes and ending up in little, just like Mario would end up in worlds, quote unquote, they call them. But it was a very interesting trailer. Like for those people, they must be like losing their shiz.
Well, yeah, because now it's the home console you can bring with you anywhere.
Exactly. And have friends play,
and have no friends who play because everyone else is playing either PS4 or Xbox One,
well, you know,
or Scorpio.
That's why you have to bring it. That's why it is all in one. So it's like, you don't want to come over and play? I'll come to you. All right. So
I can just rip off a piece of my game board here, and you can play with me.
I did see.
No, that's okay.
I am interested to see a better trailer for this one party game where it was like their big setup was the duel, like you can do like an old western duel, like shoot at each other, and whoever's got the split second difference wins. Like, you know what I mean? But it was all party gamey kind of shit. So but anyway,
like the Wii.
Yeah, totally. So Wesley's next question is: how big is big enough TV? How big is a big enough TV? I got 50. I'm doing good, and I'm fine. Yeah. Like I you could go bigger, I guess.
Depends on the room, really, but.
I mean, true.
Yeah. I got a 24-inch in my bedroom. That's enough for me.
I got a 32 in my bedroom.
I could dig one of those home in theaters where they just literally turn it into a theater. I could dig that shit too, though.
It was like, might as well just project it.
Yeah, I mean, well, obviously at that point. Yeah, but I don't know. Like Bob said, I think it's, it's what's for you. It's like what works for you, So his next question is: has anyone seen the show The Magicians? And what do you think about season 2, if so? I haven't, but I hear a lot of great stuff.
I have seen the show.
Okay.
Of course you have.
If it's decent and it's still on.
I watched season 1.
Okay.
Fun show. Sci-fi, trying to be a little edgy.
Yeah.
And
that I know.
What's funny is it feels like they got a note like halfway through the first season.
Yeah.
Where it's like, we need more edge. So there's There's a lot of sex in like the last half.
All of a sudden it ramps up for some reason. People are really responding to the sex.
Yeah,
nice.
like I didn't know you could show that much skin and still be on TV. That's
right. Well,
on basic cable.
On
anyway.
basic cable. on that channel of all things. So
yeah, it's fun. It's interesting. If you go the magic bit, and you could tell, it's based on a series of books, or at least one book.
I think that's the case. I think it's one book.
Yeah,
but they play with the conventional wisdom of what magic is and stuff like that. I know that's the thing. They do some things that are different for what you would expect.
And anyone thinking of the Sci-Fi Channel is kind of gone by the wayside. It's not all Sharknado, and this is a prime example of that.
Right.
Like, we were talking about Channel Zero, Candle Cove.
The Expanse is supposed to be really amazing. Year. I'm going to try and catch up with that.
Yeah.
Too many shows.
They made a significant effort with Legion. Remember that was the TV show, not the one about Marvel guy, but from the TV show based on a movie.
Yeah.
Oh, the Angels?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they were giving that a go. They're trying hard. They actually made it a company requisite that
12 Monkeys.
We're right. Yeah. That we're putting the Sharknado days behind us, kind of.
Yeah. and we may get
Steve Gutenberg was very upset.
We may get Krypton on Sci-Fi by the end of the year. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
A show about
Krypton.
A long time ago.
Yes.
Like generations back before Clark is born. All right, so also in here, Wesley wants to know, would you be a Sith or a Jedi? Ed, Sith or Jedi? Douche or dork? What's it going to be?
I like the Sith's outfits better. So I think I'd if I had to choose between the two.
Yeah, it's tough. I feel like, it's exasperating.
The black leather's more slimming.
Yeah, that's true.
Than the white cotton.
Yeah. I mean,
like a beige?
you probably shouldn't leave it up to the fashion, but, they're always on desert planets and they're wearing black. I don't get it. It's hot. Ugh.
But it looks really cool.
Yeah, I know, but you must smell like a fucking donkey's ass.
Yeah, and you could fit the speakers for your own theme music in the costume. Me, I think I would be Jedi, but I feel like I would have been a convert. I feel like I would have been like a Kylo Ren, who kind of like was like, nah, man, this ain't for me.
You guys are fucking nerds, bro. I mean, like real nerds. Like, I'm geeky, but you guys are nerds.
Right. I'd have to put the white hat on.
Exactly. I'd be like, no, I gotta leave. I can't handle it. You guys are serious.
Just because the black hat don't fit, I think I'd have to wear the white hat.
Yeah. What's funny too is how they're just so serious. The Sith, they're just too like, oh, guys, relax.
After all, it's a 7 and 7/8 head.
Let's not forget. But I don't know. I think there's there's plenty of those arguments out there for how the Sith kind of like are the good guys or the Empire or something like that.
Well, no, the argument is the rebellion is actually a terrorist organization.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Well, there's that. That's always the thing. Those little scamps.
But everyone still forgets the Carpenters who died during the Death Star explosion.
It's true. It's true. But I'd probably go Jedi because I feel like Sith is like just a like. There's no like. What do you do? I feel like it's a lot of misery. Like I can be miserable on my own. I don't need any help. Like like I don't know.
Well, Jedi's at least back in the day they had some structure. Sith, it's just you and another guy.
I mean
and if he turns out to be an asshole, you're fucked.
I don't think there's any right answer actually. All right. So Wesley ends it with, and if I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Oh. So next one comes from Chad Rose. He says,
Chad, what's up, Chad?
This is some topic close to our hearts here. Gus Fring is to be added to Better Call Saul.
Yes.
Hey.
Are we going to see Better Call Saul take a turn towards more of the background prequel crossover that was a little bit expected? Hope so. Thanks, buddy, Chad Rose. So
actually, I've been keeping up on this, and that looks like the way it's going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to get Gus Fring. We might even get there was the
Skinny Pete.
Skinny Pete. No, what's his name? The Spanish guy, the old guy. Blew up on the chair.
Oh, fuck! I can't remember.
Well, he's already
now.
showed up on the show.
That's right.
That's right.
Tio.
That's right. But he's going to probably be more involved.
Yeah, we'll probably. I guess it depends on how deep it's they're really going to get. You know what I mean? But they did put out a Los Pollos Hermanos commercial.
I saw it.
It was recent. That looked. They didn't age it or anything.
Gus looked a little
fuller
in pounds.
Put a couple of pounds on.
Yeah.
I don't know if they airbrushed it or if it was just far enough away, but I didn't noticeably see him look any older really, and it's been a while. So that actor obviously is he hasn't aged a lot. It's only been a handful of years, but
you don't fuck with Giancarlo Esposito.
No, I wouldn't. Well, I mean, I would. I saw Evolution or whatever that show was, that the Revolution or that NBC. The lights went out, and there's now the world has changed show.
Mm-hmm. You don't fuck with Giancarlo.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, fair enough.
You just don't.
If you could see the look I got, ladies and gentlemen, you'd be as nervous as I am. Is it safe? I'm sorry, Ed. I'm sorry. Okay, so to continue on with the emails. Next one's from Stephanie Munez.
Stephanie.
Yeah.
Her theme song?
Well, we got a little bit. Because she's from Gotham Lights podcast. She's a host over there with her buddy Heno. Stephanie!
And I have an apology to make to Stephanie and to Heno.
Do you?
And evidently to our buddy Grant Markham.
Okay. All right. Well, let's make it short and sweet and humble as pie.
I was slated to record their show.
Oh, yeah.
On Tuesday. And then I remembered on Sunday that Tuesday was my birthday.
Yeah, okay. I can see how that could be like forgot.
I just one of those things like, I got a call asking, are you free Tuesday? I'm like, I'm free every Tuesday. Why wouldn't I be? And then I realized, oh, wait a minute, Tuesday's my birthday. And I wasn't able to record the show. But we did record some special treats.
Yeah.
That I'm hoping will show up, not in their next episode, but the one following, or whatever one is already dropped.
Sometime soon on their show, you might hear some familiar voices.
Yes.
So listen closely to all of their upcoming episodes.
Yes.
Not that we're going to give you anything if you do, but you will be highly entertained.
Yes.
Especially if you like Gotham. All right. Well, cool. So you bowed out at the last minute. Kind of. You feel you tell me earlier you were feeling kind of like you threw a monkey into the mix there and it's shit all over the room or something. Horrible. They're never going to ask you back on now. You probably fucking ruined someone's life.
They told me later in the season.
They meant
It's also weird because I feel like me and Grant Markham have been on this collision course. I thought it was going to happen then, but I guess not.
Two slowly moving trains on the same set of tracks?
Yes.
Very slow? Very slow. All right. So her email reads as thus. I finally saw Rogue One! ! I went last night and it was fantastic. I'm pretty sure it's become my favorite Star Wars movie. It was also the most depressing Star Wars movie I've ever seen. I'm also even more convinced now that the Palmer guy saw a different movie, as there was so much to love about Rogue One. Anyway, my question, because the point of this wasn't just to gush about Rogue One. Now that you've seen Rogue One, does this make you more excited about Episode 8? Or rather, more excited for the next anthology film? Thanks, guys. Take care. Your pal, Steph. Sammy.
Well, I was always excited for Episode 8.
My erection never went down.
I just think the fact that we're going to get a Star Wars movie every Christmas or every year for, it's pretty cool. That's nice.
It actually, for me, it made me a little more comfortable about the future.
Yeah.
Because 7 for me was initially good, but then kind of left a bad taste.
Yeah, it's a thing under reconsideration or rewatch. It's like, oh, okay,
right. But I don't expect that kind of film to happen again. Yeah, and Rogue One reaffirms that.
Yeah, and I almost feel like it does give me more hope that there's a good chance they might be able to nail some of these things they're going for a little better than I thought. But I do because Rogue One has that particular story. I don't know if we'll get something as of that flavor or of that seriousness. Everything else might end up being, the same kind of classic balance of fun and tone. Like, you know what I mean? But
Right,
Rogue
yeah.
One hit this a little bit darker of a nerve. You know what I mean?
Right.
A little bit.
It needed to, and if they had done
Absolutely.
it, if they had done it any other way,
Oh, yeah.
it wouldn't have meant as much.
If that robot was a little bit cuter or a little bit funnier, it would have ruined the whole thing.
And I think it shows how versatile that world is. That you can go,
Yeah,
all these different places with it.
absolutely.
And I think the anthologies are going to be the anthology movies. You can't take as a group. You've got to take these one at a time.
Yeah.
Whereas the sagas, there's kind of a through line going on here.
Yeah.
So the Han Solo movie, I have no idea what that's going to be like, and Rogue One did not change that for me.
No. No, I feel like, I'm on a good path. I always kind of felt like 8 would probably be better because 8 is going to answer questions that are set up in 7. And after a while, it just seemed like, 7 is just all about 2 things. It's about, establishing nostalgia and saying goodbye to some things. And it's all about setting up questions rather than really kind of giving you full...
Right. It's got to set up a story.
Yeah, it's not really about like, here is the literal story. It's about like there's a lot of mysteries and unanswered questions. They're not full on J.J. Abrams mystery boxes.
Right.
Super up front, but they're all things that when you sit there and think about it, it's like, well, why did this happen? Oh, they just didn't like address it. Okay, so that's gonna, you know what I mean? So we'll see how the list goes. So thanks for the email, Steph.
Yeah, definitely.
And our next one, our last one, is from Agent Palmer.
Hey, Palmer.
Hey, Palmer.
Hey, Palmer.
Hey, Palmer.
I put my guitar down. It's getting tired of wearing it.
Dun, dun,
Dun, dun.
He says, gentlemen, I'm writing to let you all know that this week Bill pulled me into the hallway to have a little talk. That's a flash. That's a flash
okay.
joke. That's a joke about the flash show.
He metaphorically pulled you into the hallway.
I guess so.
Bob,
well, sometimes we do this thing where like he literally works in the laboratory.
Did he come here or did you go there?
He's got a machine. Okay. We don't really talk about it on the air though.
Well, now I'm just a little disappointed already because to me it seems like metaphorically getting your asshole reamed is a lot less exciting to me than really getting your asshole reamed.
You would think he would do more than just write an email about that. So let's see what he says.
I'm going to leave that. I'm just gonna let that
marinate.
Yeah.
All right. So Bill pulled me into the hallway to have a little talk. I am now the second person, Ed being the first, who has been asked to stop sending in emails. So this will be the last one. I wish I had some sad music. Palmer mails, like the Ed mails before it, will thusly be retired from the Wicked Theory podcast. It has been a pleasure to ask questions and share thoughts regularly, but with a slightly greater involvement behind the scenes here in the basement of the Wicked Theory laboratories, quote Bill, I said slightly greater, the Palmer mails have run their course. So without further ado, one last question, which I presume will lead to either nothing or something. I will put in and say, yeah, because that's the way the universe works.
You should just end it right here.
That's a good thing, because what's funny is that you don't know what the question is yet. It would be great to stop it right here, because the question is, will any of you miss the Palmer mail? So it would have been really great to cut it off there, but then I had to explain why it would be great to cut it off there.
No explanation. Just cut it off. Just stop, and we go on to something else.
No, but
all of us go along with it.
Yeah. All right. So Ed, will you miss the Palmer mail? A lot of shrugging and lower lip.
Yeah, it was nice.
Oh,
it was nice.
Oh,
but you know what? He's got his fingers all up in this pie.
Oh, they're soiled.
Yeah.
Like there's things underneath his fingernails that shouldn't be.
His influence will be felt on the show.
Yeah, I don't think it's the last you'll ever hear of.
He is a recurring guest on here.
You will hear his theme music again. Mm-hmm. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But we were talking earlier, and I just kind of said, I was like, you know what? Because I don't know. I mean, I was like, You're on the show all the time. You're behind the scenes of the show. Ed doesn't send in emails anymore.
And just to be fair, you never asked me to stop. I just stopped. I just went, you know what? I think it's time.
Well, I posed it to him. I was like, I kind of posed it to him. I was like, dude, what do you think? You know? And he was like, well, you know, yeah, maybe. You know? I'm like, this way you don't have to sit there and tell me, like, oh, all right, I got to write an email. I'll let you know in a little while. You know, I'll call you back, whatever. But, you know, one less thing for you to do. So, he was like, yeah, all right.
So wait a second. You're going to give him less to do, and you're going to increase his title.
And the workload.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and the workload.
Okay.
I mean, like, he thinks
just making sure.
Oh, it's not even barter. Trust me.
Okay.
No, trust me. I'm telling him, oh, yeah, no more email, so you get, like, all this time back. But meanwhile, forget it. He's shoveling snow right now for me.
Well, no, it's just, plus it's also, you know Palmer. He's got that.
What does that even mean? You know Palmer.
He's
that guy.
He's got that block. He's got that, like, faction.
It's a head. I wouldn't call it a block.
He sends one email.
Oh. He sends one email to 25 podcasts?
Yeah.
I got you. He's got
one email, and you got 10 emails back. To your podcast. All of a sudden, you've got another 40 people listening to your show. You know,
it's kind of crazy.
That's the kind of power he has.
Yeah.
He's the Palminator.
You know what? I get a direct message from him.
Yeah.
Saying I got to write a review for 7DAG. I didn't know what I was reviewing, but I wrote one.
But I wrote one because I was nervous.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I don't know what's going to happen if I don't fill out that.
He'll jump out the bushes. He'll be coming home.
Yep.
You'll be looking for your key, fumble him, drop him. As soon as you bend over, out he comes from the bushes.
Boom.
With a flying karate kick. That may not even like hurt or knock you over, but like he definitely will come flying, maybe land like a half a foot short. Something like that. You know, something very 1980s, you know, comedy. All right. So something very John Cusack comedy.
Okay, yeah, whatever.
I thought you were making fun of one of my texts.
I was just going along with everything, sure.
So we are at the wrap-up time-ish kind of a thing, right? I mean,
we got a nice tight 80 minutes here.
Is that what's going on? Are we at an hour 20?
Yeah.
Am I reading this correctly?
It's 8:21.
You know, we could do. I'll just find out because Palmer said to me, he goes, you know, you wrap up the show, you start to wrap up, and then you go for another 20 minutes. And I'm like, no, we don't. And he's like, no, you do. I'm like, no, we don't. I'm like, all right, maybe we go for a few minutes more.
Yeah.
But I understand that the emails are supposed to be like the end of the show. But, like, you know, I like an hour and a half show. Like, that's always been, like, the idea.
To quote Alec Baldwin, ABC, always be closing. Always be closing.
I don't know if that's true.
If you see that opening, you take it.
You think this is good? You think 120 is good?
Yeah, I
don't know if we had a real comedy component.
I think the only
to this
reason
episode.
120 would not be good
is anything?
Because I'm not sure if we could do 140 for the after show.
Well, what do we quickly check back on the hashtags? Are they still doing?
You know
hashtags?
what? At the very least, we should check back in with the chat room, and we'll give them all their proper shout outs.
And so
but I think
far
we did leave them with a game.
It's Palmer telling us to end the show.
Well, of course, he's going to direct us now from the chat room because we're talking about him. So now it's going to become all out in the open.
Although Tom Jackson Jr. is pointing out that Palmer is like Kato in the Pink Panther striking out of the blue.
Yeah, that's right. I've got you now.
Yeah. And unfortunately, it seems like the hashtag game ended when we talked about all the hashtags in the middle of the episode.
Oh, then no one followed up on the
I guess it was
George
kinda,
Lucas Museum. That's fine. That's fine. But that's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's good then because then we got that all done. Palmer again right now is like, okay, that means you can end it now.
Mm-hmm. So what can we take away from the show tonight, Bill?
What did we learn on the show tonight, Craig?
It's so hard not to say it.
Just sing it, you fuck.
What did we learn on the show tonight, Craig?
We learned that
we don't want Ed singing anymore on the show.
We keep it small. We definitely don't let you go long on the singing.
I did musicals in high school and college. Just remember that.
That don't mean like you,
high school. No one knows what they're doing.
Everybody gets a
college.
trophy.
Everyone's drunk.
Mm-hmm.
And in college, only the good kids actually commit to that kind of shit. Like, those are the kids like, high school I did it.
That's right.
College I want to do it.
Well, the college, it wasn't for my college. It was for community theater.
So, see.
Dude, we just got to take him outside. And
It's like every time we go back to the story, there's another caveat to it. Well, it wasn't really community theater. It was like me in the backyard with some friends. And then it's like, well, we weren't really in the backyard of my house.
It really wasn't me and my friends. I was alone by myself in my backyard, acting out all the parts.
In a little wooded area near my house.
Yeah, with my mom's wig on.
I stand by those performances.
Nobody else may have seen them, but they were top notch.
Yes.
It was a husband and wife story. I was wearing my mom's dress and my dad's tie.
Split down the middle, and I turned left, and then I turned right. That old gag. All right.
Cork face on one side, makeup on the other, right? Blush on the other.
There you go. Right down the middle. And then for the big duet part, I just turn and face the audience straight. Dead on.
I think we have a fan art challenge.
Fan art challenge. Oh my God.
Ed's one-man show.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, yes, one of the things we do, in case you're listening to this on iTunes, is we do stay on the air for the after show. It is a thing we do live. But in case you miss it, it's only available at the Patreon. So it's a bonus for you for listening live, and it's a bonus if you happen to join the Patreon. So that's the way we do it. But don't feel left out.
Nope.
I mean, this one could get funny. We're going to play some Cards Against Humanity.
Okay.
Ed, have you played Cards Against Humanity before?
I lost to my mother. Yes.
Anybody can win. Anybody can win. Bob, have you played?
No, Cards Against Humanity I have not played.
Oh, boy, this is going to be fun. All right, so everybody in the chat room, hang out. Don't go anywhere. We're going to have some more fun. And if you're listening on iTunes there for elsewheres, we love you. We want you to linger longer. But, Ed, we're on the way out. So where can people find you?
I'm on Twitter at Edward O'Hare, TBD.
Brother Bob.
At Bob WTPC.
And you can find me at Wicked Theory on the Twitters. You can find the show on Facebook and at wickedtheory.com and all the good stuff, Patreon, and all that shit you heard us talk about already. Bob, whenever you're ready, you, sir, can take us out of here. Yeah! Woo! Da 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 da.